All right. People have been asking in the Discord, on Twitter, things like that. Sin, when we gonna see your top 30? Are you gonna make us wait till Brago's top 30? No, I'm not going to make y'all wait, man. Today, we are doing the Synsei's One Piece Top 30. This is based on current characters. So chapter 1036 is where I'm basing things at. You know, I was going to do this list like post Wano, but I don't want to be too speculative. I'm going to have to speculate on some things and certain picks because we don't know a ton about some of these characters. Might have to use what information I got. But hey, man, we here today for that. Got this idea from the homie Big Brago. You feel me? The Don, you feel me? BDA Law, you feel me? The homie, man. So I'm gonna do my top 30 today. We're gonna start at 30. We can go all the way to the top. I'm gonna give y'all reasons why I feel like these characters deserves a spot that they at. Now, before we get into the video though, make sure, y'all hit that with a like, man. Go ahead, hit that with a like. I'm gonna put out the Crazy Fan Theories part 2 this week. So make sure y'all go in the pin comment, follow me on Twitter, follow me in my Discord to make sure y'all can be a part of that video. Also, if you like content like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications. Let's get into the video. All right, so the number 30 spot is tough, because there's like a plethora of characters that could go here. I feel like looking at my list, a lot of the people I feel like could go in this 30 spot were like Dolflamingo, Cracker, Queen, like those types of characters, Smoothie, things like that. And it's tough, man. But based on my list, at number 30, I have Dolflamingo Don Quixote. Now, I know a lot of people feel like Dolphy is under Cracker based on the narrative of the Cracker and Luffy fight. However, although Cracker has a hacks ability, Luffy just countered it. And looking back at that fight, people gave Nami a ton of credit, and I believe that she deserves it. But like, not to the extent that y'all said. Like, y'all were like, oh no, he needed Nami. But Dolphy fought Law and Luffy. He cut Law's arm off, took a gamma knife, then he held his intestines together with his strings. Then he took 2 rounds of Gear 4th. It took 1 round of Gear 4th. Luffy had to get wagoned around the town for like 10 minutes, and then he needed a 2nd round of Gear 4th to beat Dolflamingo while he was holding his intestines together, and he already had fought earlier that day against Fuji and Law. I'm just saying, this is not to downplay Cracker at all. It's just Dolphy is very impressive too, and it was either or for me. I could have put Dolphy or Cracker here. I'm going with Dolphy. I know some of y'all are Cracker fans, but hey. At number 29, we have Edward Weevil. Now, Weevil is here specifically for one comment. They compared him to a younger Whitebeard. The problem here is Weevil could be much higher or not even on this list, because I don't know what they mean by a younger Whitebeard. Do they mean Whitebeard at 10 years old, 15, 20, 25? I have no idea. That's the context we're missing. They just said a younger Whitebeard, which could literally be multiple things. The reason why I respect Weevil is because he got brought up very late in the story, got compared to a young Whitebeard, and he was a warlord. Because of that and his ambitions, I think it's safe to put him here, but he could be anywhere within like the 20s and lower in my opinion. I honestly don't know exactly where to put him, but I thought here was okay. Next up, we have Rob Lucci. Now, if you were to ask me around in this lobby if I thought Rob Lucci would be top 30 in One Piece at this point in the story, I'd have been like, you're tripping. But Rob Lucci is a prodigy. He rose through the ranks of CP9 all the way up to CP0, and he's still relevant even in Wano. And I honestly don't feel like he would be a part of a group and not be the top person in the group, or at least be aiming to be the top person. Because of this, I wanted to put Rob in the list. I don't have him as high as some people. Some people say that they think Rob Lucci is Admiral level, and I just disagree. And specifically with the showing that his CP0 has had, even though Blue Scarf did defeat Drake, Apu got away, and he did say it was tough to beat Drake. So I think the CP0 are strong, but not as strong as what I had thought previously. And because of that, I'm gonna have Rob Lucci at 28. At number 27, we have Lucky Roo. Now, I'm gonna be honest, y'all know I love Lucky Roo. I wanted to put him like top 15 just to troll, but it's just tough, man, because a lot of the characters that I would have had like Lucky Roo over previously, they have grown a ton in Wano. So it's like now I'm starting to respect them more and have them over Lucky Roo. It's, again, this like bottom like 20 to 30 is tough. There's going to be some characters in this like 20 to 30 that y'all may be upset with. It is what it is. But I knew I wasn't going to be able to please everyone doing a top 30. So there's no top 30 list that everyone's going to just be okay with. There's just no way, because everyone gets so defensive over characters they like, and I understand that. But I have Lucky Roo at 27. I feel like this is a good spot for him. So next up on the list, we have Kid. Now, Kid at 26. I know some people are going to be upset with this. The reason why is just purely feats. I just haven't seen a ton yet. Now, I'm not saying that kid has to be a 26 forever. He could surprise us in this Big Mom fight. And a lot of reason why Law and Kid are low on the list right now is because I don't know the outcome of this Big Mom fight. I don't know if Big Mom's going to win or lose, but I'm under the assumption she's going to win. So I have to base, where I would put them on the list on that. I don't think Big Mom is going to be defeated in Wano. I still think she has relevance in the story, and I still think that Luffy's going to defeat her. Luffy said that he would after Kaido. Because of this and me thinking they're going to lose, even though they are awakened, they're not experienced with their awakenings. Plus, other characters are awakened. Dolphy's awakened and he's number 30. Katakuri's awakened. He's not number 30, but he's awakened too. But they have more experience with their awakenings than Kid and Law do. Now at number 25, we have Sanji. Sanji did not even make my top 30 last year, which really upset me. So I'm so excited to put Sanji here. I know some of y'all are like, why is Sanji over Kid? Now, look, hear me out. I think Sanji just has enough in his kit to be able to defeat Kid. With the regeneration, the exoskeleton, the very high speed, and now his hotter flames with his haki, I think he has what it takes to defeat Kid. I didn't put him over Law, and Law is, spoiler alert, the next one, because Law has something in his kit to get through the exoskeleton. He has, the Kroom, which is an internal attack, which is very, very potent against high durability opponents, which we've seen with Big Mom. If he can get to Big Mom with it, he can get to Sanji with it. And I think because of that, he has what it takes to get Sanji out of here, which is why I put him over Sanji. Next up, we have Law. Like I said, I've explained it. I think Law is over Kid right now, just based on the Big Mom fight, but he's also over Sanji in my opinion, just because he has the capabilities to defeat Sanji's and get through the exoskeleton. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. I will say though, as an asterisk, that Law and Kid could be way higher depending on how this Big Mom fight goes. So don't be too hung up about it. I know y'all going to be tight, but hey, just relax. Now, next up at 23, we have Katakuri. Now, Katakuri is somebody that y'all know I hate on a lot, but Katakuri is very strong and he has a very deep kit. The thing is, Katakuri and the number 22 spot are kind of interchangeable to me. I have Kat and King interchangeable. A lot of people are disrespecting King. I'll be honest. Like, I've seen a lot of lists and for some reason y'all have him so low. And I am only inclined to believe that you're doing this because you're hating on Zorro. It's honestly feels like an agenda thing to me. King has been very impressive. He's the first person since Mihawk and Kuma, which they were Mihawk and Kuma pre-time skip, and then Sabo too, but everybody got punished in Sabo. But he is the only person since pre-time skip to make Zorro lose a fight. Like, King had him on the losing side of the fight. Like, he was legitimately, in my mind, I'm like, yo, is this man Zorro about to lose? Like, there are multiple times where I felt like King just had the upper hand, which is very similar to the Katakuri fight. The thing that you got a power scale here is, okay, is Zorro now stronger than that Luffy with Future Sight? And that's a debate that I don't really want to have. I think it's super toxic, which is why I had them interchangeable. If you have that Luffy over this Zorro, you'll put Cat over King. That's obvious, and vice versa. I don't really care if you have Cat over King or King over Cat. They're interchangeable to me. I just don't have King that low. I've seen people have him like 7 spots lower than Cat. I think that's really disrespectful. But hey, what do I know? I'm not Oda, so. So we went through 23 and 22. Now we're at 21. 21 is Marco. Now, Marco on a lot of people's list are lower than King and Cat. Okay, I'm not mad at the Katakuri take. Like, you can make a debate. But for me, having him lower than King doesn't make sense. This man did what Sanji tried to do, and he actually succeeded in it for a long time. You remember when Sanji tried to fight King and Queen and he got bodied? Marco did that for hours during the raid. Like, he legitimately fought them for hours. And I know you can be like, oh, that's his power, he's regenerative, but that's his kit. You can't take points away from him because his kit is what his kit is. He still did those things. He still had those feats. This man had them in a headlock at some point and he was noogieing them. I'm sorry, but to me, that shows one-on-one he could outlast and defeat them. That's just how I took that. Marco also being someone that was compared to Blackbeard when brought up in the Yonko conversation. Also, on top of that, every opponent Marco has is a top tier opponent. I've never seen him fight a bum, ever. Name a time he's really fought a bum, like in a 1v1. Like, I just don't see it. Like, he fought against Admirals, then he goes to the Payback War, probably fights against Blackbeard there. This man Marco deserves this spot in my opinion. That's really all I got to say about it. So number 20, we have Yamato. Now we're getting into top 20 territory. I feel like all Conqueror's coders, in my opinion, that I've seen so far, should be able to compete with first commanders at minimum. Like, I don't think we've seen a coder yet that I don't think could compete with the first commander. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Conqueror's coding is an ability that only the strong have. Kaido said that to us. And of course, I'm going to listen to the King of Beast if he tells me something. It just is what it is. She's also the daughter of Kaido, part Oni. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about here? Has a really good devil fruit. Like, Yamato's a goat. She also fought with Kaido for some time on the roof. Yeah, she was on the losing end. She wasn't doing as well as Luffy is right now, but she still was up there fighting him, which is something the Scabbards did 9v1. So, I mean, let's give her some respect. At number 19, I have Boa. Now, this is with the asterisk that Boa has Conqueror's coding. If she doesn't have Conqueror's coding and she loses to Kobe, of course she's not 19. But I really feel like if she does lose against Kobe, it's Kobe with help. It's not just Kobe. Unless Kobe's potential is crazy, you know, he shows up and has like Conqueror's coding too, which I guess could happen. He did train under Garp, but like, I'm just not going to jump out the window and make that assumption yet. I do give it to Boa, and I do think that she has Conqueror's coding, which is why I put her at 19. She's a warlord. She has a very powerful tribe of people that all have haki. Her sisters both have types of advanced haki as well, which leads me to believe she understands haki well. And if she understands the flow of haki and she has conquerors, it makes sense she would have coding, which is why I put her where I put her at. At number 18, we have Zorro. Roa, Noah, Zorro. I think this is a great spot for Zorro. Defeated king. He's over king. We know that. I do still feel like he's over Katakuri. I know some people don't agree with that. Is what it is. I think Zorro showed us once he got his coding that he is a step above first commanders, except for one, you know, which we'll get to later, but that's for a different reason. Because in One Piece, it's not all like, oh, they're all first commanders, so they're just all this strength. It's always a person-to-person basis, which is something that people need to realize when power scaling One Piece. It's not linear power scaling. It's not A person beat B person, so A person can also beat C person because they lost to B person. Like, I know that was confusing, but that's not how it always is. At number 17, we have Shiryu. Simple and plain. Narratively, he's Zoro's next opponent, in my opinion, unless Fujitora gets thrown in there in between, but it just makes sense Shiryu will be a step ahead of him. I don't like it. It just makes sense logically, so that's where I put Shiryu at. At number 16, we have Sabo. Sabo, someone that was fighting with Fujitora at Dressrosa. I do think he's relative to admirals. I don't think that he's as strong as an admiral, maybe, but he's going to be an endgame person. I think he's going to take over the revolutionaries because I do think Dragon will die, but that's just kind of headcanon and like some theory stuff. So, but based on him being second in command, him having Rio, we've seen with the dragon move, and him having the Mera, him actually clashing with Fujitora, doing well, just makes sense to me. He's where he's at. Number 15, we have Sengoku. Now we're getting into the territory of the old man trio here. I think Sengoku at 15 is not, you know, an issue comparable to Garp, Rayleigh, Roger, things like that. It just makes sense that Sengoku would be here. I don't have a lot of feats to put him underneath them, but it does seem to me that he is the less aggressive of them, which is why I usually put him underneath them. Of course, I could just be wrong, but I could be wrong about a lot of things on the list, so it is what it is. At number 14, we got Rayleigh, the Dark King, man. Rayleigh, fighting comparable to Kizaru, hadn't picked up a sword in 20 years, told Kizaru if he was in his prime that he could have stopped him and saved the Straw Hats. What are we talking about, bro? It's the Dark King, the right hand to Roger, the king of the pirates. 14 is a great spot for him. Next up, we have Bennett Beckman. Now, Bennett Beckman being here is something that some people might not like, I guess, but I think this is a great spot for him. There's a data book which states that he is comparable to his captain Shanks. Shanks being a Yonko, he's a right hand to a Yonko. He's close to his prime or probably in his prime. I would say that this spot is fair for him. I have Garp after him. Now, usually people put Garp below Ben Beckman. I see on most lists, they put him like with Rayleigh and Sengoku. The reason why I put Garp here and why I want to make a case for Garp, because he could be potentially higher. This is the thing. At Marineford, I realized, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, Whitebeard did very well, but he was sick. Garp is always compared to Whitebeard and Roger. Now, if Garp and Whitebeard are around the same age, but Whitebeard had just been drinking and been sick, Rayleigh had just been drinking, he's retired, but Garp is still a Marine, still in the field, and is not sick, he has to be very strong. Like, it just makes sense, right? Like, he has to be strong, which is why you can make a case, I feel like, that maybe he was going to be Akainu at Marineford. I know some people disagree with that, but I think it was possible. which is why initially I had him right below Akainu and Aokiji, but I changed it because of the age thing. But it could be either one. And the reason why I put him under Aokiji and Akainu is because I really do think in the 2 years they've grown, especially with that 10-day fight. I do think they grew from that. In that 2 years, I do. But it's just, it's tough. But I put Garp here out of respect over Ben. I know most people put him under Ben on the list I've been seeing, but I put him here out of respect. Next up, we have Green Bull, Fujitora. They're interchangeable. It's self-explanatory. They're admirals. They deserve the respects. I just haven't seen enough for me to put them over the main three, but they need to be here. They're admirals. It is what it is. There's a prerequisite power level to be an admiral. They made it. So it is what it is. All right, so real quick, this is a spoiler alert for the list. But as I was recording this, I had to move some people around and I deleted someone's name. So at number 10, it should be Kizaru. I had Kizaru like underneath the admirals above Luffy. So Luffy should be like at 11, I think. But Kizaru would have been number 10. Or number 9 or number 10. I can't remember, but he's around there. I just deleted his name so I could move Luffy and then I forgot. So yeah, spoiler alert, but you're not going to hear me say Kizaru, but that's not because I'm sleeping on my mans. I just dead ass forgot. You feel me? Like, you feel me? But anyways, back to the video. At number 9, we have Luffy. Now, I have Luffy under Akainu and Aokiji, but I know some people might have him over them. He did split the sky with Kaido, but it's not 100% Kaido. That is the main thing. If this was 100% Kaido and Luffy was fighting like this with him, and then he ended up beating Kaido, I would put Luffy like top 3. I'm gonna be honest, but Kaido has fought a lot of people. Fought Big Mom for 3 days, then the raid happened. He fought a bunch of people here, the Scabbards, then the 5 Supernova on the roof, and they were really targeting Kaido, like more than Big Mom. Like, it's crazy. But Luffy split the sky, man. He's a Yonko now. It's just like, I don't know if I can put him over Aokiji and Akainu yet. Not yet. But after Wano was over and I see how the Kaido fight went, he might be top 6, top 7, you feel me? Not me. Number 8, we got Aokiji, Akainu. They're comparable in my opinion. They fought for 10 days. It's like the longest fight I think we've seen in One Piece. Akainu is the Fleet Admiral. That's why I have him higher than all the rest of them. I know the Fleet Admiral doesn't mean that he's just stronger than them, but just based on his feats and him beating Aokiji to become Fleet Admiral, it just makes me think that he is stronger than the rest. I got Dragon at 6. Now, I know a lot of people have Dragon within their top 3, which is fine. I have Dragon at 6 because I don't feel comfortable myself putting him in top 3 when we don't know anything about him. And these other 5 people have just done so much, you know, and have so much portrayal that it's just tough. It's tough to just put him top 1, man. I know he's the world's most dangerous or most wanted. I don't know what the translation was, but it's fine. I think him being at 6 is fine. And honestly, Akainu could be over Dragon. Like, I could see people putting Akainu at 6 over Dragon if you think that Akainu is going to kill Dragon, because that's a very like valid theory, and I like that. So I just wanted to make that known as well. And number 5 and 4, interchangeable, Mihawk or Shanks. Hey, it is what it is. World's strongest swordsmen. They had their duel. They just seem portrayed together. It is what it is. And number 3, we have Big Mom. You feel me? To Big Mom. A lot of people had Big Mom at like 8, 9, 10. I think that is crazy and disrespectful. There are no feats to back that up. There's no feats to back up why Big Mom is 9. Like, when I ask people, they're like, oh, because she's memed around and the motorcycle and tossed and all that. All that stuff is gags. Oda is making jokes, literally, and none of it ever hurts Big Mom. She's never gotten badly damaged until this Kid and Law fight, and Law had to use an awakening that attacks internally to do it, mixed with Kid just plummeting her with like a billion pieces of metal at the same time. Like, my point is, her durability is like peak. It's over Kaido, in my opinion. I just think that Kaido has more attack potency than her, but I'm not even mad if someone had Big Mom at 2. Like, I respect Big Mom. I do. We have Kaido, the King of the Beast, at 2. He's the King of the Beast, world's strongest creature. Very simple, very easily explained. He's fighting everybody in Wano. He's fighting the main character right now after fighting everybody else. Like, this dude's a monster. So y'all know who number 1 is, man. I know it might be surprising to some, but he, in my opinion, is going to be the final villain for Luffy. And I got to keep the same energy that I kept with Shiryu for Zorro. He has 2 of debatably the best devil fruits. He scarred Shanks pre-Yami, beat Ace. This man is the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie though, man. I got Blackbeard at number 1, man. I think that he's going to be top 2 after he loses to Luffy. I truly believe this. He's going to be Luffy's final obstacle. And man, I just feel like narratively, it makes sense for him to be top 1. I know some people probably don't believe that, but I do. There you guys have it, man. That's my top 30. I know that you guys probably disagree on some stuff. Let me know down below. Hope that you guys enjoy my list at least. I know it's not perfect, but I mean, I thought it was a pretty solid list, man. I thought I had a pretty solid list, pretty solid explanations. I feel like most lists can be pretty solid as long as you can explain your picks, you know, well. But of course, I want to know all of your lists, so make sure you comment them down below. And as always, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during these trying times. This has been Synsei Inc., and I will see you all in the next video.